Hello everybody, my name is TheRedSkald, and welcome to our very first adventure. We're going to be playing Expeditions Viking. Believe it or not, this game is about Vikings going on an expedition. And we will be doing that tonight. So, I have played the prologue of the game, and I do quite enjoy it. A bit later you'll see the reason I bought the game in the first place, but yeah, let's hop right into creating our character. Let's see where it goes. And here is the stock standard of Vikings. Blonde hair and blue eyes. So I will be playing, obviously very faithful to my name, I will be playing a redheaded character. And I do have green eyes and a very light complexion. So I was thinking we are going to be playing as a tank healer, but with a more strength focus. So I was thinking maybe with an axe or a sword. I think maybe a sword. Yes. Okay. So first of all, we're going to be choosing our name, which would be Skald, and our father's name would be, let's say, maybe something like Halfdan. So then that would be Skald Halfdanson. I think that's pretty cool. I think that's quite cool. Alright, let's choose our character portrait. He's got a red beard, but he's not quite got red hair. I'm not choosing that. Never choosing that. I think let's go with this one. Alright, so let's create our character. Gonna be a large build, indeed. We are a strong man. Stubbles, go for a full beard, maybe something with a little bit of a, there we go, that looks good. Hairstyle, I'm going to go for some braids on the side. We look like a Viking leader, and funnily enough true to the portrait as well. Okay, cool. In terms of clothing, I was thinking maybe we could go fancy or fur-lined. I think fur-lined. That looks pretty nice. And boots. Okay, there we go. And then for our colors, we'll go with gold and like a sky blue. Maybe some white. Ooh, that looks nice. Quite like that. Actually, that looks really good. I think we're going for the white and the blue. Yes. Okay. Cool. Yeah, we're going for the white and blue. Alright, so let's move on to choosing our skills. Like I said, we're going to be a more strength-focused build, so I was thinking maybe going 8 in strength. We don't need a lot of finesse. We do want some perception, though. See if we can get to 8 on all these. Let's just take finesse down. Yeah, let's just take finesse down all the way. Because I want some perception for additional information during dialogues. But I don't know if 4 is worth it. Because then we might as well just go finesse for the critical chance. Give me 2 seconds. Alright, so I think we go with perception. Ranged weapons, perception is crucial. Archers often reveal additional information during dialogue. I think we stick with perception. Okay. And then for our main skills, not our main stats, but our skills here on the side, I was wondering between an axe wielder or a sword wielder. It does say axes have like medium damage and medium critical, but when you look at the sword skills, none of these axe skills have like pure damage output. It's like disarming opponents, base damage, axe rank. 3 is cleaving through a shield. So I think we're going to stick with a sword, most probably. Because this first skill already is amazing. Automatically attacks the first enemy that enters melee range. We've got a heavy swing, which ignores all damage reduction, as well as the execute skill, which instantly dismembers an enemy in the next turn if we deal any damage. It could be 1 damage, but they will die. So I think we're going to stick with swords. We might get ourselves a secondary one somewhere here along the lines, but yeah, we'll see. So first we're going to focus on sword. And I do believe shield is also a good one to go for. Status effect defending, shield bash. So let's put at least 1 in that. Okay. Offensive skills. Anticipate opening, crucial charge. That's for ranged attacks. Rebuke, stun. Stun may be good. Plus specific stun, physical resistance, cycles act, block. I feel like that's a pretty good one. Makes a melee attack with +5 damage for every hex you move before attacking the target. Let's move. I want to move on and come back to these actually. So I was thinking, because we're a tank healer, obviously the first thing I want to jump into is to have at least 1 point in healing. And then I also want to see if we can move into more like a leadership role, but we can get some characters who have high sense in our herd later on, which could be our leader character, but I feel like we can be, because we've got high sense already, I think we can move into healing and leadership. That would be pretty good. Yeah, let's move into healing and leadership. In terms of these skills, I would definitely like diplomacy, because this gives us some additional dialogue options, and maybe we can avoid some fights we don't want to have. So extra damage versus harried opponents. Okay, so we didn't get any offensive skills, but that's okay. We will get some skill points built up over time. So that's kind of what I was thinking right now. So that's 2 in sword, 1 in shield. The only offensive skill we have is interrupt, which is it's a ranged attack. So we or postpone a ranged attack until you have at least a 75% chance to hit an enemy. Okay, that's actually pretty cool. So we could maybe combine this one and charge. I don't know. And then we've got 1 in healing, 1 in leadership, and this is a free move, tactical move. We've got 2 in diplomacy, and 1 for damage against harried opponents. So when an opponent is harried, basically what that means is if you fire with an archer or a slinger, ranged attack, and it misses, and I do believe it also can apply if you hit them, it like lowers some of their stats, I believe. It's not going to show us now, but yeah, and this just helps with that, because we'll also always have an archer or 2 in our head. That's what I'm looking for. So yeah, this is our character. Beautiful Skald Hafdanson with a white and sky blue clothing. Shield looks pretty cool, not gonna lie. But thinking about it, the channel is red and black. Maybe we should go for a red and black character. So if we go maybe black. Maybe something like that. That actually looks pretty cool as well. Ah, this is difficult. Let's go for this. I like this. Let's go for that. Alright, here we go. Skald Halfdanson. May you have much success on your journey. So, the description for our character reads as follows. Born to Halfdan and Astrida in the year 769 of the Julian calendar, with captivating green eyes and the hair the color of fire, you've grown to be a strong, tough, and wise man, but of little grace. You are known amongst your clansmen as a foresighted leader with a great command on the battlefield. So this game is quite heavy on the dialogue and any form of reading. So I do believe the first episode will be mainly just reading. But a little bit down the line, it's going to be action. So I believe so. That's what I've read at least. So let's hop right into it.
Your father was a great warrior and a good husband, but he was not a strong chieftain to his clan. As he travels to join his brothers in the halls of Valhalla, you must take his place. Our clan is beset by petty squabbles. Some amongst our people would contest your claim to leadership, as they saw discord our neighbors plot against us. Gather your most trusted clansmen. Together you will face dangers which none can predict. You will be challenged on your leadership, your resolve, your wisdom. Build a ship and take your housecarls across the sea. Power and strength for our clan must be sought outside the Norse lands. If you show yourself to be bold, the gods will follow you into battle. Your legacy will live for 1,000 years beyond your time. Our clan must prevail.
That intro, I told you earlier, you're going to see the reason why I bought the game. That intro, when I saw that, it was over. I had to get the game. That was the quickest, the fastest time that I ever bought anything. so I had to get it. I don't regret buying it at all. Anyway, so we're dropped right into the game, and the dialogue starts. So, it is the evening after your father's funeral. When you close your eyes, the image of his blazing ship shimmers in the dark behind your eyelids. It's not a common ritual this far south, but your mother Astrida, who hails from the land of the Geats, insisted on it. All the thanes of the neighboring clans have come to attend your feast in his honor. Your father may not have been the most successful thane, but as a warrior he commanded the respect of many. The guests are filing into your longhouse. The thanes enter first, each trailing a modest group of warriors. Your mother leans in to whisper a few words of advice before she takes her seat. You should greet each of the thanes before the feast begins, but listen well to their words. Few of them would benefit from making this a smooth transition. It will be important to know where they stand. Okay, and we dropped right into it. I'm going to be skipping most tutorials. Don't want to read over that as well, otherwise there's going to be very little gameplay. So let's walk around, let's speak with some people. So we've got the golden ones, which basically the main objective, and the silver ones, which are the secondary objectives. That's what that was going to be about. Let's speak with the secondary ones first. So Ragnhildur the White. Ragnhildur the White is the most influential of your guests. As the vassal of King Sigurd the Hringer, she is the current ruler of Denmark. She has come from the trade hub of Ribe to the south, where she presides as Jarl. She nods politely as you approached her seat. It was a beautiful ceremony, Skald. I extend my condolences for your loss on behalf of Ribe and the king. I must tell you, I advised him not to seek out the isles across the sea. We've all heard the stories of the unprotected coasts and their treasures, but there is more danger than the rumors let on. I'm not surprised they claimed his life, but I am glad at least he died with a sword in his hand. Did you know Halfdan well? I knew him as a warrior. We fought together on the Bravelier, and he struck me as a shrewd tactician. When your king needs you, I hope that you will serve him as well as your father did. What am I going to say? I don't. I want to carve my own story, woman. I don't want to follow. I want to fight. Let's see. But we don't want to make any enemies at the moment, so I would say, and they would be a strong ally to have. So I'd say I'll serve. I will serve. You have my sword, my word, and sword. Jarl Ragnhilde nods once. I'm glad to hear it. Our king will not forget those who aid him in battle. Thank you for accepting the invitation. We are honored that you could make it. Of course, your father's sword will be missed in our struggles against the Franks. If you'll excuse me, I must do the rounds. Enjoy the feast. The old shield maiden smiles. She gracefully slides back down into her seat, whereupon she spears a large piece of chicken with her knife and dumps it on her plate. I must tell you, I had a large piece of chicken myself. Actually, not a large piece of chicken. My wife and I were desperate for some fried chicken, so we got some wings and babalas chips, which basically is just loaded fries. And we really enjoyed it. So, let's speak with Skuld Skullcleaver next. Skuld Skullcleaver is the Thegn of Yelling, which borders your area. Yelling is a large territory, and Skuld is one of the most powerful Thegns in Jutland. Yelling has prospered under his rule. Skuld pushes himself away from the table with his foot, the chair making a grinding sound across the wooden floor. His face shows earnest sympathy. Skald, my boy, so sorry about your father. If there's anything the people of Yelling can do to aid you in these trying times, do not hesitate to ask. Thank you, but we'll be fine. Yes, of course. I'm sure the clan is in good hands. Still, it can't be easy. Your father was a great warrior, but as Thegn, one should not speak ill of the dead. Skuld leans towards you, resting his elbow on the table. Tell me, what are your plans for this place? How will you lead your clan? Well, Skuld, that is my business, and it's definitely none of yours, so that is my business, Skuld. Skuld leans back into his seat and waves a hand dismissively in your direction. As you wish, dear boy. I shouldn't poke my nose in your affairs. He lets out a deep sigh and leans back into his seat. I'm sure you know I fought with your father many years ago. We were very much of a similar inclination, he and I. That man had a real taste for battle, not like his brothers. Mark my words, Skald. True bonds are forged in battle, not bound in blood. He came to me for advice before he mounted his last journey. On account of my ties to Kalpang, I should have warned him better what he was getting himself into. Well, to be honest, he knew what he was getting into, but he went anyway. A wistful smile crosses Skuld's lips. That sounds like your father. But I've taken too much of your time already. I know you have other guests to entertain. Perhaps we'll talk later, after a bit more mead. Skuld nods more to himself than to you, and turns his attention to the food on the table. I don't know how I'm going to be able to keep up with all the voices, but bear with me. I'm going to have to rewatch episodes whenever a new character comes up, or an old character. But yeah, let's speak with Halfdanr Salmundars. Big name. Halfdanr is the Thegn of a slightly larger clan that borders your lands to the east. He wears a solemn expression and nods heavily when you approach him. Halfdan is in Valhalla now, Skald. There is no doubt about it. He died doing what he loved. I feel like I'm playing the Settlers 5. I don't know if you remember that Heritage of Kings. All these voices. But yeah, anyway. But while he feasts among the heroes, you're left back here to sort out the pieces. You've got your work cut out for you. What do you mean? Your father managed to make quite a few enemies in his time, most of them among his own clan. If he'll permit me to be honest, he never paid one speck of attention to the wishes or needs of his people. Surely you're not expecting your claim to leadership to go uncontested? I am the rightful Thegn. If anyone thinks otherwise, we'll sort it out the traditional way. Good, good. Worse problems than this have been solved at the tip of a spear or the edge of a blade. May the gods favor you if it comes to that. Halfdanner empties his mug of mead in a single gulp, then slams the mug down onto the table and calls a thrall for a refill. Alright, those are all the secondary conversations done. Let's start to speak with the golden ones. Rurik Halfdanser. This must be my brother. Your elder brother Rurik always had a penchant for music. He looks up and gives you a warm smile as you approach him. Gott kveld, brother, Rurik grins. I mean, my honored Thegn. How do you feel? I'm well, Rurik. I know our father is in Valhalla now. Rurik smiles. You can barely hear his soft voice over the din of the feast. I'm certain he is. Odin would have to be a fool not to accept a warrior like him. How has everyone been treating you? Everyone knows you are the better warrior, and a stronger-willed man than I. Nobody wants me as their Thegn. To tell you the truth, I think our clansmen are almost as relieved as I am that you took on the mantle. I have to go and be a good host, but I'll talk to you later. Your brother flashes you a cheeky grin. Just use the old signal if you need to get out of a conversation with one of the other Thegns. Thank you, Rurik. I've already spoken with the other Thegns, but thank you. Let's speak with Nefia.
There you are. The feast seems to be off to a good start.
Nefia is one of your oldest friends. Your families have always been close, and you grew up together in the village. She's just finished pouring your mother a mug of mead. It's nice to see you out of your armor for once. Nefia snorts sarcastically. You've seen my sister in this dress before. Surely that's the same thing? She closes her eyes and rubs the bridge of her nose with a finger. Gods, she was so excited to see me like this. I'll never hear the end of it. Where is Eivora, your sister? A sardonic undertone creeps into Nefia's voice. My poor sister has a fever again. She has such a frail constitution. All this wet cold is hard on her. Mother stayed home to care for her. What do you think of our guests? I'm sorry to hear that. I don't know why that's not an option, but what do you think of our guests? She chuckles. Your fellow Thegns are certainly a proud and graceful bunch, even as they plot to murder you and take our lands. Well, that's certainly the sense I'm getting. She grimaces. Oh, I'm not sure all of them are actively planning to kill us. Just partly. I have a weird feeling about Skule, though. I doubt they call him Skull Cleaver for no reason. Halfdanner plays the lovable old grump, but I know he's had his eyes on our harbor for years. Ragnhilda, I'm not sure about. She probably has nothing to gain from destroying us, but she's little more than Sigurdur appendage, and who knows where he stands. Well, apparently he stands on his appendage, so... which is Ragnhilda. But anyway, let's talk later. I have to be a good host. Good luck, and watch your back. Thank you, Nefia. Thank you. Kettle, you gonna boil some water for me?
Busy entertaining your guests?
I wish this game was fully voice acted. That would be so amazing. But it's part of the charm, I guess. Kettle is standing off to a side, holding a horn full of mead. Your young hunter appears to be watching the feast with a faintly amused expression, and he nods respectfully when you come near. Not too busy to check in on you, no. As busy as you'd expect. Why are you over here all by yourself? Kettle winks conspiratorially. Trying to hide. Who? Trying to hide. Go through the door here. That's fine. Trying to decide who to pick a fight with. I want this feast to be memorable, and nobody tells stories of a feast without a fight. True, true. Jokes aside, have you seen Skill's Hoskals over there in the corner? I want Gerda and Skaki. I've heard stories about them. Nathia seems to be expecting trouble too, so I've decided to go easy on the mead and keep an eye out. I appreciate that. It never hurts to be careful. He throws his head back and slightly towards Aslefer. Speaking of which, keep an eye on the big lug back there. He and his friends have been putting their heads together all night. I think he might be planning something. I'll keep an eye on him. Leave the watch to me. This is your feast, and you should relax and enjoy yourself. I'll alert you if something happens. Thank you, Kettle. I believe now it's only to speak with Aslefer. Okay. Nice. Nope. Aslefer is a distant cousin. Aslefer is a distant cousin. Leadership of the clan has moved between your side and the family and his for generations. He's known as a skilled warrior and a hard worker. Aslefer sits with his two closest friends.
Our condolences on the passing of your father. At least he died the way he would have wanted. He will be feasting with the gods tonight.
He looks up when you approach his end of the table. Neither of his friends acknowledge your presence, and his tone is respectful, but slightly cold. Thank you. I hope there is no bad blood between us. Aslefer seems to consider this for a while before replying. It is no secret I didn't agree with how Halfdan ruled our clan. Bearing this in mind, I don't see what gives you the right to succeed him. But this feast is in his honor, and I will not insult his memory here. Nor will I challenge your claim to leadership. You believe you would be more suited to lead us? Aslefer leans forward and looks you directly in the eyes. I do. Why, because my father failed you? It is not our way to let rulership simply pass from father to son. If we are to become a strong clan again, we must appoint the best warrior as Thegn. You are not the strongest of us. Merely the less weak of your father's children. If you believe the gods favor you in this, I hope you will get the chance to prove it. But I will not simply wait for you to falter and bring the whole clan to ruin. You are wrong. I hope you will give me a chance to prove it. Aslefer simply nods once, then he returns his attention to his companions. All this reading, I feel like Andy Serkis reading the Lord of the Rings novels. Books, sorry. Ooh. This must be the one. Oh. This must be the most pathetic meat hall in Jutland. If you're going to insult our hosts, at least have the sense to whisper. I'd heard Halfdan had neglected his clan for years, but this is just sad. He looks quite Asian, actually. Interesting. Maybe his son will do a better job. I don't know, that's just how they sound. I doubt he'll be living long enough to get the chance. Scary. Scary. Gaki. Okay, I guess that's that. We can go and sit down. See what happens. Following the initial meet and greet, everyone toasts to your father and digs into the meal. Food covers every inch of the table, and the freshly brewed mead seems to flow endlessly. You're listening to Nefia's usual complaints about her mother when Kettle perks up and slips discreetly out of the longhouse. Outside, some piece of pottery crashes against the ground, and men begin to shout. In short order, the door flies open, and the doorway is filled by Otar Erlingsson, sword in hand. Outside, you see his brothers standing over the prone form of Kettle. Otar looks around the room with disgust. What a splendid feast for such a shit Thegn. Otar's gaze stops on you, and he raises his sword to point at you accusingly. Skald, your family had its chance to earn our respect, and you wasted it. Come outside and defend your honor, or we will burn this hall to the ground. Nefia jumps to her feet, already holding her knife. Her voice seethes with disgust. Otar, you miserable drunkard! How dare you attack your Thane's honor during his own feast? Your family will pay for this. Otar has turned his back on you and is already walking back outside. All the other guests turn their gaze to you in anticipation. Your mother leans in to whisper in your ear. You have to handle this. If the other Thanes think we're too weak to deal with such a blow against our family's honor, this will not stand. Nefia, are you with me? A shadow sets across Nefia's face. By the gods, he's going to make us kill him this time, isn't he? Indeed. Indubitably.
I hope Kettle is all right.
Yeah, I hope so too. Although the crashing of pottery and the inevitable, probable, most likely death of him. No, I'm just kidding. Right, let's see what we got. We got an heirloom sword, a shield, and an old bow. So, let's equip them. So we can equip the shield in our offhand and the heirloom sword in our main hand. For now, don't really see me using the bow, but let's equip it. And then mead increases strength for 3 turns, used twice for double effect, but this reduces finesse and sense for the rest of the fight. So this is not the greatest thing to use for a support character, I believe, because we do have high sense. But we'll test that and see. The fact that it mixes affects finesse doesn't really matter because we have none. But alright, let's see. Alright, so I believe this is a good spot to leave the video. So thank you all for joining us today on the start of our first adventure together. And yeah, we'll see what happens in the next episode. I do believe we will have some action. Finally. So I hope you enjoyed my reading to you. This is a good episode for when you want to go to sleep or something like that. I promise it's going to pick up some pace soon, and I'm looking forward to it.